Hey, Shawn, hope you're doing well. I'm curious, what's the biggest difference? Obviously there's a lot of differences, quarterback safety, but what's the biggest thing learning a new position from scratch?
Hey, Natalie. The biggest difference I would say, honestly, is the running. Like we run so much, but I mean, other than that, just understanding technique and eyes and eye discipline and feet, just all types of stuff like that. So it's like starting from square one, if I may. So
Any follow-up, Natalie?
I'm good, thanks.
Awesome. Colin, question for Shawn Robb.
Yeah, Shawn, you got a new defensive backs coach back there, a new defensive coordinator. Is it helpful for you to be starting from square one with everybody else in a new defensive or a different, at least, defensive scheme in spring ball?
sure, yeah. Coach Wilkes and the new coaches, Coach Fletcher, Coach Harbison, they've been awesome. Just been very patient with me and also very hard on me, but just pushing me and just teaching me the things that I need to know. Very detailed and critical, so I like it.
Any follow-up, Colin? All right. Greg, you can unmute for a question for Shawn.
Shawn, I'm just curious about the physical recovery aspect of all of this. When we talked to you after the Mississippi State game, you didn't end up having another game to play when the bowl game got canceled. How is just the body recovery going as far as the hits and the impact?
It's honestly not that bad. I mean, I'm a little more sore than usual, but we have an awesome training staff and we get on top of that stuff pretty fast. So they get me right.
Any follow-up, Greg? All right. Mitchell, do you have a question for Shawn?
Yeah, Shawn, I'm curious, looking back at that, Mississippi State game where you ended up playing quite a bit at safety, I'm curious how much have you kind of learned more about the position since then, and how much of that was just kind of, coming in and playing off of instinct and energy, and or how much did you, I guess, maybe know about the position at that point?
Absolutely. I've definitely learned a lot more just from now at the point where I am now to when I was at Mississippi State. I kind of was just out there just playing, just running to the ball, just trying to make plays. But now I'm really learning the aspects of leverage, his eyes, and like drop depths and why we run certain things. So it's really cool.
Follow-up, Mitchell? Awesome. Wilson, question for Shawn.
Shawn, I'm just wondering, between the end of last season and spring practice starting, what did your just workouts on your own look like while trying to adjust to a new position?
Yeah, it was a bunch of running, cardio, just trying to bulk up and get some muscle too. Just because these guys are big and strong in the SEC, so I'm gonna have to get a lot stronger. But that was pretty the main part, just getting in condition and getting stronger.
Any follow-up, Wilson?
Good, thanks.
And Ben, question for Shawn.
Shawn, I'm curious if you can kind of take us back a little bit and, the mental side of making this position switch and kind of, deciding, is it something you thought you could do? Is it something you wanted to do? And just sort of take us through that all the way to now as you've gone through this change.
Yeah. Ultimately, it was tough just because my whole life I've always played quarterback and I've always seen myself as a quarterback. But just sitting down and really thinking about it, I've already transferred multiple times and I really love this university and love my teammates and just love being here. And I knew I had like the athletic ability to kind of do some things. I wasn't quite sure how it would turn out, but once I made the move, coach supported me and everybody was behind me and I just went full go and never looked back after that. So it's pretty cool and scary at the end, but scary during it, but it was fun. It was fun.
To follow up on that, I mean, is there anything as you think back on making the decision that ultimately won you over that said, yeah, this is the right thing to do. This is what I want to do and I'm going to do it?
The biggest deciding factor was just like I said, I really didn't want to transfer anymore. And it was really just like, I love being here. Like I love the environment, my teammates, coaches. And that was pretty much it. I was like, I'm all in once I decided. Really,
Thanks.
after the Mississippi State game, I was like, yeah, I'm going. Like after that, I was like, we were full go now. Let's go.
Thank you, Shawn.
Thank you.
Bennett, question for Shawn?
Yeah, Shawn, who have you leaned on the most during this transition for pointers or advice, that sort of thing? Are there any current teammates who have helped out, or have you stayed in touch with Josh or Tyree at all? Or
There's a plethora of dudes on this team that helped me out. Like I'm telling you, through linebackers, safeties, everybody, they're so helpful. The coaches, everybody's just willing to work with me on just technique and just helping me get right. So everyone's been a bunch of help. The guys in the safety room, all that.
is there a best piece of advice or anything that you've gotten from someone?
The best piece right now, like that I just got, honestly, is just hand placement. Like the guy with the inside hands, they're always going to win when you're talking about leverage and like fitting up on somebody like a blocker. So that's something I really want to work on.
And who was that who told you that? Was that a coach or a player?
Player, Joe, yeah. It's my guy. And Case Cook, he helped me too. It's everybody, honestly, though. It takes a village to help me out. So.
All right, Gabe, question for Shawn.
Shawn, you went from spending pretty much every day with Connor and Brady at the beginning of last year to now in practice, you're going against those guys. I'm curious in practice, have you picked either one of them off yet?
Not yet, but it's definitely fun just going back and forth with those guys. It's competitive. It's awesome.
Do you, I mean, now that you're on the other side of the ball, do you talk with those guys, talk any trash with them, or you got anything planned if you do get them?
It's definitely some chirping in the locker room, on the field, all of that. So it's fun. I got to get one from both of them, though. I got to before this spring is over.
Thanks, Gabe. Natalie.
Yeah, obviously we talked to your teammates over the past few days since spring ball started, and they all just really talked about how much respect they have for you and how, much of a player you are. Does that make the transition with what you're doing a little bit easier? Is that, take me behind one of the reasons. I'm sure that's one of the reasons you wanted to stay here as well. Of course. Like, it's so easy to just go full go into something that's unknown when you have the support of just, the people who are rocking with you every day. So they push me and inspire me every single day to be the best me. That's all I can ask for. So I'm blessed to have these guys around me.
And Bennett, question for Shawn.
Yeah, you mentioned coaches sort of being hard on you early on. I'm curious, is there a degree of patience with yourself that you want to keep with the process here, or is it more helpful to sort of be hard on yourself and have the no excuses kind of mentality? I'm glad you brought that up because I got to remind myself, give myself grace. Like, I'm super hard on myself. And I think I'm probably like my greatest like critique if I'm wording it right. So I get pretty frustrated when I don't get something, but I just got to remember like this is my first time playing the position. So yeah, I got to be a little more patient with myself.